Well, hello fabulous, and welcome back to my channel. I am Teacher Melanie, and on my channel I share things as relates to marriage, money, motherhood, and everything else in between. I know sometimes I mix it up, but you get the point. So in my previous video I talked about those of you that are self-employed, you are freelancers, independent contractor, all of those things, and you want to be able to plan for retirement and what are the different requirements. And so I just shared several different plans that you will want to consider as self-employed, as an independent contractor, freelancer, whatever that might be. And so I shared those different types of plans. And so this video, I'm going to get specific on a particular plan. The one I'm going to be talking about is the solo 401k plan. Talking about the eligibility, the requirements, the limits, and all those wonderful things. All right. So make sure you stay all the way to the end. Make sure you do that. Good. Okay. And so you can get all the good stuff, because you do not want to miss out on not allowing money be left on the table, right? You don't want no money left on the table, and really take advantages of the different tax benefits that are in place for you, right? Because it's one thing about it. It's one thing to be working for your money, but you want to make sure your money is working for you just as hard as you are working for it. So if you're ready, make sure you go ahead and you grab a pen, a pencil, a notepad, so you can take down these notes, so you know exactly what is going to be beneficial for you as it relates to the 401k solo plan, and if it is a good benefit for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. So with the 401k solo plan, this is important to know that it's a solo plan. First of all, there are no age restrictions whatsoever. You must be a business owner with no employees whatsoever. The only employee that you can have is your spouse. So it's just the business. Your employee is your spouse, and that is it. And your business is making money. That's the requirement. Now, there are some contribution limits. The contribution limits have increased since 2024. 2024, it was $69,000. In 2025, it is now $70,000 with an additional catch-up. That means that if you are 50 or above, you can add an additional $7,500. So those are my 50 people. Hey, I told you can catch up. And if you are 60 or higher, you can contribute an additional $11,250. Okay, so those are the catch up if you are in those different age brackets. But if you are below 50, your contributions that you can contribute to your retirement plan as a solopreneur is $70,000. That's the limits for 2025. In 2024, it was $69,000. Okay, that's that. So now, as I said, one thing about it is that you have to be running a business together, you and your spouse, or by yourself if you're not married. Now, what are the things you need to do to get started in this type of plan if it's for you? Now, this is a great plan too, is if you are in a higher tax bracket and you want to be able to have your income, right, your certain amount of your income to be less taxed, right? Because now this is before tax dollars in there. So this is a great plan if you are in a higher income level and you don't want your income to be taxed too much, right? And have it be taxed on the later side. Now, what do you need to get started? You do need to get an EIN. So even if you are a solopreneur, you can still get an EIN, LLC, a corporation, which some of those things you already have already. So you do need to have that to get started as a 401k solo retirement plan. Then you have the option, this is where flexibility comes in, to choose whether you want to do traditional, right? That means money is going in before taxes, or you can do a Roth where money is contributing after taxes. And that means that if it's after taxes, then you will not have to pay when it comes time to a distribution, which is not mandatory when it comes to a Roth. It is mandatory with a traditional, and you will be taxed as an ordinary taxes when it comes time for you to do your mandatory distribution when it comes to traditional. Now, the thing about it that you do need to get with a company, a reputable company, of course, because you're not paying with your money, who can help set this up for you. So some of the companies that I partnership with my clients, I have Fidelity, Invesco, Franklin Templeton, just to name a few of the companies to help you, which is you're basically creating a trust with them in helping to hold this your retirement plan that you are setting up. Now, the other thing too is that with a 401k, right? 401k, the flexibility that you have is that you can borrow from it. You can borrow against it. So if you want to do a distribution, right, or you do an early withdrawal, of course, you know there is a 10% tax penalty. But if you borrow from it, right, you do a loan from it, then you do not have to worry about having that 10% early withdrawal, because you're not withdrawing from it, you're just borrowing from it, and you're paying yourself back. That's how I look at it too as well. You know, listen, when we're entrepreneurs, we have to figure out different ways to access our money and our resources, especially if we have different projects we're trying to expand, whatever it might be. That is something to think about as well. And you have more investment options. So you can do stocks, bonds, you can do mutual funds, exchanges, and other types of investments. You can do derivatives. There's a couple of things you cannot do with a 401k solopreneur, but you have some options that are more expandable to you if this is a plan that you choose. And remember what I said, this is a great plan if you are a high income earner and you want to contribute higher to your 401k plan as opposed to an ordinary one with the contribution limits are less. With this, as I said, the contribution limits are significantly higher, and it could be for you and your spouse. So you and your spouse, if you're in your business together, you can do your 70,000, she can do hers, or whatever the case may be, and it's going to be beneficial for your income not being taxed, depending on what you decide to choose. So that is the difference with the 401k solopreneur. Now, so I'm so glad that you stayed all the way to the end. Great job. So what I want you to do, if you haven't done so, okay, you see my link below so that you can book an appointment with me to see if this is a good fit for you, and if you're married, your spouse, right? So you can start contributing to your retirement, because I know as a solopreneur, we're working, we're grinding, but sometimes we don't forget that. Do we want to continue working for the rest of our lives, or having the options of really protecting our income and taking advantage of the tax benefits that are available to us, which there are so many, so many. This is another one as well. So hopefully you like this video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and do that now. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and share it as well to other fellow solopreneurs, freelancers. What's the other one? Solo, you have a 1099, whatever, you're all considered in that category. You're all considered in that category. And at the end of the day, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. All right, my fellows, peace. So cannot wait to connect with you. Go ahead and click the link below, and you see my other links on if you're just getting on my mailing list to just get more information, so we can just connect and just build this amazing relationship, so I share more things as it relates to keeping more of your income. All right, my fellows, peeps. And so with that being said, remember to pray, plan, and believe, because God is still in the business of doing miracles. Make it a great day. Bye.